There we go. And we're live. Oh, shoot. Forgot to check the mic here. Let me make sure. Yep. Okay. Think we're in there. Oh, friends. The Wheel of Time. Watch party. All right. Here we go. We got the old timer up here. Let me pull up Amazon Prime Video. Should be coming out soon, right? Is it already up? Episode-wise. Okay, not yet. Not yet. Here we go. All right. Let's get the watch party started. Let me go get the clip art here real quick. Cool beans. Let's go. Let us go. All right, friends. Let me just get the hey, you got last minute predictions here. We got 10 minutes. Dots, things we're gonna see. What are you guys feeling? What are we thinking? All right. Oh my gosh, I have like 50 layers on this piece of clip art. There we go. Okay. Screenshot. Get rid of this. Screenshot. These things. Behind the scenes. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. There we go. Watch party. All right. Here we go. Some Wheel of Time action. Let's get the episode in here. Episode. The blood falls to blood. Right? What's it called? All right. Oh, I got 8 people in here. Holy smokes. Comments. What the heck? All right, we got our timer. We got 9 minutes here. Let's see. We can watch it. I'm gonna be watching the episode 5 here live. I just have a timer. You know, we can just kind of chat. I'll be in the comment section there, just chatting away. Matt will be in right after the show begins. So Sir Matt will be here, or I'm sorry, right after it ends. He's gonna watch it independently, and I'm just gonna hang out with you guys here. Yeah, as we get ready for. Looks like it's gonna be a good episode. Last episode was amazing. All right. Okay, let's go check the stream. Let's get this layer here. Let's get a little bit of this in here, a little bit of that in there. And file. Oop. My phone's blowing up already, guys. What's going on here? Watch party episode 5. All right. All right. Yeah, I don't. The watch party that feature on Amazon. That's pretty cool. If I could figure that out, how to do that. Best I know how to do here is I'm going to start a timer here in a second. So we'll get going in just a second with the episode timer. I'm set up. Let's go. 8 minutes. It should be fun. This should be fun. YouTube. I know the Dusty Wheel's going on at 9. So be sure to check that out. Matt and I'll be kind of right at 8 o'clock. He should be on here, Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be talking about this. He's got it queued up. Got him on speed dial over here. He's been messaging me, called me. He's ready to go. Yeah, I know some folks haven't read the books and are kind of wondering, what it's like. Great question. Books are amazing. I would definitely check it out. Sir Matt is reading it for the first time. I have read it numerous times, and it's wonderful. It's just cool to see Wheel of Time actually come to life on TV. So, Control Find 4. Okay. Replace with 5. Next. Okay, replace all. Boom. There we go. Little veteran move here. Bam. Save. And we're back. All right. Yeah, like 7 minutes, 6 minutes now. Here we go. I'm reading with you. Love the book club. Awesome. Happy to hear that for sure. Yeah, someone asked actually, have we stopped the book club? We just stopped for the show, finished Fires of Heaven, and then we're going to be right back after it with Lord of Chaos. That's where we're at. Matt's already read the prologue of that, I believe. He might even have read the first batch of chapters, so we're ready to kind of crank out an episode right once the week right after the show ends. We'll have one ready to go. Yeah, right. Happy to live in a world where there's a TV adaptation. Let's go. There he is. He's ready. My boy is ready. So we got that is Matt, by the way, Super Gains Bros. Be sure to check out his video game channel. Pretty awesome. Formerly Box Trick, makes a bunch of really cool content. Are we getting a Wheel of Time video game? Is there going to be a Lego video game, guys? Like, come on. I want more. After this is over, I want season 2 and so on. I want games. There's merchandise. I want it all. Dun, 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 dun. Whoa! And there he actually is. Holy.
Here we go, man. I mean, do we? That's weird. Hold on. I had the YouTube up. Do we try to watch it at the same time, or?
Yeah. This would be kind of fun.
Might be easier just to, because I get excited.
That's fine. As long as we press play at the same time, and we could even do, like if you want to, we can even. Oh shoot! Not that. The heck did I? What the heck was I trying to do here?
Oh no!
Oh my god!
No!
There we go.
There were Dune video games. Dune Battle for Arrakis, man, on the Sega Genesis. Supported Doom 2, the PC version.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I loved Dune, to be entirely honest. I watched that movie like 3 times.
For me, just now finished Shadow Rising. Oh yeah, awesome. So we got some folks talking about the book club here. Yeah, wanting to jump in, which is awesome.
Did I rewatch episode 4 last night? Yes.
Yeah.
Was I also, much like my character namesake in the books, sick?
Yeah.
Was I?
You were sick. You were sick last night.
Let me tell you guys, that 3rd COVID shot does not mess around. Okay, my God. After the second one, I felt fine. My arm hurt a little bit, just sore.
Yeah.
And then I was just kind of tired that day. Yesterday was a different ball game, man. Hot
Jeez,
and
dude.
cold sweats, like shaking. And Teresa made me get up and put Christmas lights up outside, and I thought it was gonna fall off the ladder. Literally,
You're like, come on now. I mean, you're literally freezing to death, trying to do, a good thing, slow the spread.
Hey, but I got it. It's good. I feel fine now. It's just like 24 hours. Really not even 24 hours. It was really like 12. Just it really started probably around I got my COVID shot the other day. Let me see. I got it Wednesday at Walmart. Just got it at Walmart, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get. Do you?
You can mix, by the way.
Can you?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know,
sure?
man. I got the Moderna. You can get the Pfizer if you had Moderna. I had Moderna, and then
Matt's like, we're sitting over here acting like, well, it feels like it's a hot sauce. Which one's more hot? Which one's
right? Well, I don't know. If I could go back, I think I'd try the Pfizer. That might have been a better experience. But
oh my god! All right. So hey, we got 1 minute. What we're gonna do? We're just gonna press play at the same time.
I'm just refreshing. I'm just refreshing the page, man.
Yeah, let me know, and then we're gonna hit.
What is F4? Isn't that the page?
No skipping of the recap. We're going right through the recap. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So just gotta make sure we get that in.
Should be live here in a second, man.
Yeah, so we'll give everyone, like 5-10 seconds once it comes up, just to get, positioned and all that good stuff. Oh, I just saw a glitch.
Oh no.
Nope.
It keeps just trying to automatically play it.
Grand Mountain Time. Done.
Booster life, yeah, man. Hey, Link to the Past, let's go. I'm more of a Link's Awakening guy, but I do like Link to the Past.
That's kind of like a Wheel of Time universe, isn't it?
I think it came out first, so technically it probably ripped off Legend of Zelda.
Wow. All right, guys, we had 7 o'clock.
All right, here we go, man.
Is it up?
Don't know. We're about to find out. It should be.
Who you guys? If you guys get it, let us know in the comments if it pops
Not
up.
Yet.
For you. Bum. I think there's some guy just sitting there who has his finger over the button.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah, his name's Jeff. Oh, there it is. Blood calls to blood.
All right.
Blood. All right, now let me get in here. Set it all up here.
Now, are we gonna do 3, 2, 1 shoot, or are we going on 1?
Yeah. It's 3, 2, 1 play.
Shoot. Like paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
Right. Yes. All right. So let's give everybody you guys get about we'll give you 10 seconds here, or you can catch up with us wherever you're at. But you got it queued up, right, Matt?
Yeah. I'm gonna hit play, and then whatever happens.
Whoa, man. Okay, here we go.
Well, when we decide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody's got it. There's everyone saying it's popped up here, so we're good to go. Skipping the recap. There's an
not
ad.
Skipping it. Nothing.
No, I skipped the ad. Sure. You can do that, right? But
you already skipped the ad. Oh my god! Now
that's just an ad. Get to 0-0. Got to get to 0-0. And you'll be fine. 0-0 out of 1 hour and 20 seconds. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. All right.
Mine's 1 hour.
Are we ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Here we go. So I'm gonna count us in. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and then we'll all press click. And then we'll be good to go. Okay, so here we go. All right.
Not skipping the recap.
Yeah, no, we're watching straight through the recap. That will happen right out the gate. Right. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1, click. All right.
let's get some more stuff set up here. God, the music in this is great.
Yeah. Agreed. The Bond. Holy smokes, God. Watching Land die is just, I mean,
I don't like it.
it's bad. I hate it. Here we go.
It's pretty sweet. Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow.
Is he in the books? Steppen?
I don't know if they name her water or not. I don't know if they do.
Leander looks like she's happy.
Dude. The emotions, man. Oh my God, I love Nynaeve.
He could become somebody else's warder. Could get shifted.
Yeah. Man. This is tough.
Oh, we gotta.
Oh my God. Mm. All right.
Yeah.
Just an emotion.
The more I see the intro, the more I like it.
Yeah. I mean, the music was good there too, right? I mean, it's already hitting. The feels.
We are not skipping the intro.
Right.
By the way.
No. Yeah. No.
Why would you?
No way. Exactly. It's freaking great.
Like the spoke of a wheel. Yes. Good point.
Wow.
I do hope they change the intro up next season.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Game of Thrones, you know how it shifts around?
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll see a dragon banner.
Yeah. That would be cool. Okay. Oh, man. Sally Richard.
1 month later.
Whoa.
Time jump. Well, that's one easy way to get Rand and Matt to the tower.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that was necessary.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Let's go. Yeah. Ooh. Wants it.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Steppen going to be Nynaeve's warder. Maybe.
Maybe. She's worried about him.
Cage RS.
Oh, look at the hood up. Let's go.
Jeez. Just calm down, Matt.
What kind of stone we got there, guys?
It's the Stone of Tear. Let's go.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Dragon mount.
Let's go. I think I've seen it before. Yeah, fear not, friends.
Yeah, we're just watching the episode, hanging out.
Yeah.
Did he say blood and ashes? Let's go.
Wow. Hmm.
Let's go.
Hmm. All right.
I think we're about to be loyal.
Wow.
That's freaking out, man.
Yeah, he's freaking out. Tom's dead. See?
Business is about to pick up.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
That was a line from the first teaser.
hmm.
Ooh. I didn't know she could use balefire because she just got burned, baby.
Wow. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So Nynaeve, calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
There should be a hair. There should have been a hair tug there.
Yeah.
Here come the white cloaks. God.
Son of a.
Ugh.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What a jerk. God. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. White cloaks they're pretty close to Tarvalen to be pulling this stuff.
Yeah, they are.
This seems incredibly stupid. I hate this guy.
I do too.
He's a great villain.
Oh no. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well,
Why do you think the Aes Sedai are going to show up and be like, I'm pretty sure they belong to us?
yeah. Oh, here we go. Library situation.
Loyal. Loyal or Mint? Who do you think?
Loyal.
Let's go. I love the voice.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, he does look better than the leaks made him look.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Hmm.
Loyal.
Wow. Oh my.
Loyal looks like he should be in the Beauty and the Beast school play. Yeah, they could make that's something you could improve a little bit on in season 2.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. I like them pushing everyone but Rand.
Yeah.
Even though they've definitely teased it a few times, like, oh, there's something different about him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. That seems
Hmm.
Wow.
Wow. Hmm.
Whoa. God, what is these guys' deal? God.
Yeah, I don't like them.
We got loofahs. Now hold on a second. First we had Taco Bell. Now we got loofahs. Something's going on.
Thumbs up. What the heck?
Yeah.
Wow.
God, I hate this guy. How does he know that? He just thinks.
What?
Yeah. Wow. Is he already saying he's a dark friend?
Wow.
Oh no. Do not touch my boy Perrin. Let's go.
Wow. Wow. What the? Wow.
Wow. I cannot wait for Perrin to get some revenge later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out. We're watching it right now. Like 30 minutes in. Wow.
Hmm. 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 Look at the freaking detail, man.
Looks great. No Trollocs in today's episode. Didn't see an Ogier though. There'll be 8 episodes total, and this is episode 5 that's out right now.
What is Leandrin about, man?
Yeah. Let's go. Loyal. Oh.
Whoa.
No, the guy who plays Matt in season 1 left. We don't necessarily know why, but there will be a different actor for season 2 and going forward. Yeah, we don't need him.
Wow.
Can Nynaeve heal him?
Don't know, man.
Yeah. Let's go. Each episode just gets better.
Hmm.
Wow. What do you think's gonna happen with these white cloaks?
Jeez.
Wolves. Here come the wolves, baby.
I hope. God,
Who let the dogs out? Perrin did.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Confession time.
wow.
Oh my God. Oh my god.
It wasn't his fault though.
Oh my gosh. God.
God, I hate this guy.
Holy. Holy.
Dude, is he a Forsaken?
Dude.
He can channel. Oh, she was. Let's go, baby.
Oh my.
Wolfpack, baby.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah, his parents the fucking Wolf King.
Wow.
God, Landron's so weird.
Hmm. Okay.
think it's the first time they've said the word forsaken.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hmm.
That land fear.
Wow.
There's a handful. It looked like there could have been 13. They didn't show all of them.
Hmm.
Ryan, get your boots off the bed.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, she said. Wait, was she trying to say that Suwan's her enemy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, little does she know.
Hmm. Hmm.
I thought it was a worldwide release. Maybe not. Because it technically releases at midnight GMT time, which is why we're able to watch it at. I'm watching it at 4. I'm on Pacific time, as you're aware. You're East Coast
Eastern.
time, which is 7, right?
56, yeah. What's going on here? Was he drugged
Whoa.
by Steppen? Bro, you might have been right.
What?
It's dark friends all over the place. That's Nynaeve's tea.
Maybe Steppens aligned himself with no, I always want to say Elida, but it's not Elida, it's
Something's wrong. Missing
oh
dagger.
look, there's a missing dagger.
Jeez, somebody's trying to kill Moraine. Son of a gun.
Maybe
Son of
maybe Liana
guys, somebody's in disguise. Did he kill himself?
maybe. God. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
God.
Why would you stab yourself in the stomach though if you're gonna kill yourself? I think he was murdered. Not gonna lie, the Channing dude's kind of weird. Wow.
God, I got chills.
Wow. Whew.
Okay. Whoa.
Wow. All right, guys.
Whoa, got a little emotional.
Woo, a little emotional there.
Holy smokes.
Woo. All right. Well, let's all take
I'm a little emotional,
let's
bro.
all take a minute here. Just
That was his friend, man. That was his friend.
shift some things around here.
Oh,
I'm gonna grab some water real quick. We'll take a
man.
breather, everybody.
I'm
Take
letting the
5.
credits. Yeah, I'm letting the credits roll here.
And
Wow.
then we'll come back and Ez and I'll press record and we'll dive into it.
Yeah. Wow. Leave us a comment down below. Thoughts on the episode. I mean, what'd you guys think? Just wild. Okay. All right. It's beautiful music there at the end. We're letting it roll out here. The credits, just listening to it in the old headphones. Wow. Okay. All right, there we go. Close that out. Oh, man. Woo. Wow. Yeah, Luce, yeah. Holy crap, right? We're gonna have folks probably joining us here just as they click back in.
Okay.
Just leave us one of those comments down below. Let us know favorite part of episode 5. Wowzers. Yeah, that was what. Finish that thought.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my Audacity pulled up here.
Yeah.
Get your Zoom here. We're not going anywhere, I think, but we'll get our podcast intro in here just for recording purposes for those of you guys who do like to listen over. Sometimes people just like to get the podcast.
Hey,
so
I love it because you could actually literally just see people who had just finished, right? And they're just click.
I know, because the numbers start popping up.
Just a heads up to everybody, the Dusty Wheel is going live in about an hour, I think, or so, an hour and a half. So I know some of you folks will be heading over there just because I think I don't know who he's having on, but he's having somebody pretty important on, I think. But so yeah, we'll get going here in a second because we want to get our podcast in and get your guys' thoughts, see what you think. I'm emotional still, man.
Yeah.
I'm still emotional.
All right, I'm hitting record.
All right. And I am also recording.
Hello and welcome to Heroes of the Horn, a Wheel of Time podcast. I am Sir Matt.
And I am Sir Ezra. Friends, we are back. This is episode 5. We just finished watching it. Blood Calls Blood. There was a lot of blood.
There was a lot of blood.
So,
woo, Ez, already we've been doing this sort of live hangout as we watch the episode, which is a ton of fun. And so we've already got a lot of people in here hanging out. We've got around 50 people right now hanging out over here on YouTube. So guys, check that out because we'll be going live for all the episodes, which is, midnight GMT time, Grand Mountain time, as Ez likes to call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
And then whatever else your time zone happens to be. But wow, this is a lot of fun hanging out and watching this with everybody. Initial takeaways, man. This was a heavy episode.
It was emotional. It was an emotional episode.
Across the board, all the parties.
Yeah.
It was pretty emotional.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the key word because I got emotional with Lan there at the end. Let me work backwards. Nynaeve showing up with Rand and Matt. Loyal because I love him. Loyal, however you want to call him. I call him Loyal. Got emotional with Egwene and Perrin. Got real emotional when when those White Cloaks had their hands on her. I said, "Get your freaking hands
And he's
off!"
cutting,
I was like,
he's cutting Perrin's back.
"Don't touch him."
But you know what? You know who had Perrin's back? The Wolf Pack.
That's
Wolf
right.
Pack is back.
Let's
Okay.
go. Let's go. I know folks were happy. Yeah, I see a comment here. First sighting of Perrin's yellow eyes. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really, I thought, when it first happened and the glow just hit, I was like, wow, the energy was real. I mean, just so many things happened in this episode. It just little things too, little nods towards the Forsaken, and like the tea and just stuff with like 90, just the dialogue. Leandrin, actually,
Yeah.
big deal. Like little like some tower politics,
Yeah, I mean, wow, we got a little bit of, sorry, as my camera's out of focus, it'll fix itself here in a second. The name, first name drop of the Forsaken, right?
Yeah.
Then we saw those little Forsaken sort of things they were praying against, I'm guessing. And
Yeah.
you look at some of them and you get to see some of that. We were looking and he specifically said Ishamael.
Yeah.
And then we were looking at a few other ones. There was definitely 2 female ones I noticed. One of which maybe Grendel, and then the other I'm guessing obviously is Lanfear. So that was kind of cool to get that little sort of Easter egg in there. Yeah, Forsaken action Forsaken action figures. Yeah, crazy episode today. Again, we're past the halfway point, and so the interesting thing is, remember we looked at this last time and we said that everybody has done, all the directors get 2 episodes each, and so it's going to be kind of interesting. So 1 and 2 were done by the same person. 3 and 4, which I think are the best block of episodes. And so now this one and then the next one. So these next 2 are going to be very white. This one and the next episode, very White Tower heavy. I'm pretty sure we're meeting Swan in the next episode. We've seen her in the trailers. And then yeah, man, so many people pointing out things here in the chat. Logain, right? Staring up at Matt, kind of more so than Rand. We had another tease of Rand being Aiel. Royal kind of points that out. And that was teased a little bit earlier. So yeah, book-wise, we're actually kind of where we should be. Things are done a little bit differently, but it's like, okay, we're kind of 3/4 of the way into Eye of the World right now, which is, we're, whatever the math is, 60 some percent, right? What's 5 divided by 8? Something like that, right? Like 63%.
I love how you always ask me math
60%.
questions.
60%, I think, right?
And you
62.5. I was close. 63. I was close.
I'll tell you what, though, something that was interesting is that you said we're about where we should be in the books. And I thought there was an interesting plug here for we should be in Camelin. And so in this very episode, they plugged Camelin, which I thought was a cool little nod that Swan is there and on her way back and will want to speak with them about Logain. And then we saw a lot of the same things when we meet Loyal and Camelin. A lot of this stuff it was a really good merger, actually, of Camelin and Tarvalen. I thought that was great. So
yeah, we talked about that and we said that's probably going to be the case. Really interesting. Right off the bat, we got the 1 month later,
right?
Which we were like, I didn't know if that's entirely necessary or not, but kind of cool.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe we'll get other, jump backs in time and say 16 years ago or something like that, which could be really cool.
Yeah, I think one time in the Great Hunt, I remember early on they did a little bit of a month jump type of thing with the portal stones and stuff. Which, by the way, guys in the comments, was that a portal stone or that stone Matt looked at with all the glyphs on it or whatever? It was an old stone looking thing. I just got don't know what that was. Was that just a marker, different language or something that he was staring at as he was walking into Tarvalen? So many things jumping out, and again, we just finished up here. The bit someone mentioned Padan Fane, that sighting of him, that was cool because again, all Tarvalen stuff, or I'm sorry, Camelin stuff from the books, but happening in Tarvalen, where
I
he
didn't see
sees
him.
them.
I missed that.
Yeah, when they're sitting on the ledge, the crowd walks by, and then there he appears for a split second, stands up, turns, walks away, like
Okay.
real quick, real fast.
I must
Grinning, I
have
think.
been looking at the chat. I missed that. I did. I mean, obviously, I
Yeah.
saw Logan look at him, but I did not. Okay, just because a lot of people are talking about it, let's go ahead and talk about thoughts on Loyal's look when we were doing it live. First of all, I think he looks better than he did in the leaked trailers.
Yes. Yeah.
The hair is a little weird. I'll agree with that. I think it's sort of to make him look younger. I really like this comment right here from Mito saying, not sure about Loyal's look, but his mannerisms and talking were spot on. The humans are so hasty for him. I agree 100%. His mannerisms and everything were so funny. When he walks in after he's found Nynaeve, and
Right.
he barges in. He's talking,
Right.
like carrying on this conversation with himself. Yeah, spot on. Like Loyal, you can sort of change his attire and stuff like that. Some people were saying he's a little too small, but yeah, I think we're off to a good start with Loyal, and then again, that's something you can improve upon in seasons 2 and 3. Go back and look at Game of Thrones season 1, some of the attire and stuff like that, especially like Tyrion, I think is who most, he looks so much better in the later seasons. But so yeah, I think it was good. Really like this episode. It wasn't like a step. It's just the past 2 episodes have been so good that this one,
Yeah, you got to bring it down. You got to,
Yeah, it's just sort of, we've been really action heavy and stuff like that. And so, all right, now we're going to dive in our plot for the next 2 episodes and then set up the ending, right? Which is going to be episodes 7 and 8. Episode 7 we know is going to be the ways, going through the way gate. And then episode 8 is going to be who knows, right? So we're going to get to that. So some other things here. So far for me, and I'll toss this to you too. So far for me, the biggest like pleasant surprise in a way, as hard as it is to say, this is something where you sort of change it from the books, and I would say this is the best change they've done, even more so than the idea that it could be a female dragon to sort of build suspense. The way they're handling the white cloaks to make them is so good, because it's like as soon as they step on the screen, you hate them. I hate that guy.
Well,
so that means he's a great villain.
And the thing was, when it's just a yellow sister, it's like, yeah, it was still awful to see her burned at the stake. But now you've laid hands on Egwene. So yes, Nynaeve is like probably my favorite. I love Nynaeve so much. I'm a hardcore Nynaeve fan. But Egwene, I love her. I love everything she does, and she's awesome. Get your hands off her. Don't touch her.
Yeah.
Don't ever touch her. And I swear, and I love the look in his face when the wolves did finally show up. Obviously, he's not dead, I'm guessing, right? He just got she got a nice little stab in there.
Right.
But man, you're right. They're villainous, and you feel awful. And he was basically, when he said, it was like, he was like, how do you know that I even am someone who would keep my vow or my promise, right, to the light, to serve in the light? I was like,
right,
here we go. This is a questioner trying to get something out of her.
Right. I think we can almost go ahead and ask it. Are we sure he's actually not a child of the light, but perhaps a child of the dark?
Wow. I don't know. A couple times throughout this episode,
I thought, a friend of the dark?
I don't know. Is he following somebody else's orders? That's a question, right?
Because he sort of block Nynaeve's fire.
Yeah, that I think it was either just too weak, or she just either figured it out and it just like kind of puffed on his chest. I think he's lucky she didn't disintegrate him. I don't think he was trying to also test her with the oaths. I mean, she can't tell a lie. So, but she has a spark. He can tell something's up. He at least was intuitive enough to figure out, okay, yeah, there's something going on with this girl, and I need to kind of pull it out of her. We don't. He doesn't want even a novice to go to the tower. If he can catch these girls before they go, he's gonna stamp it out. It's an abomination, Matt. By the light, he's serving the light.
I think he has a Terran Grial. He could.
That is awesome. That's the kind of stuff that would be very interesting to see. Is that they have an object that would keep, much like the Foxhead medallion, maybe one or two of them, or some of the higher ups in the White Cloak ranks have one. That would be real interesting.
Is he the man called Boris?
Wow. Wow. Is he? I mean, is he? Lots of questions about the Dark Friend Social. The Dark Friend Social is going to be a thing in season 2, buddy. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Some other interesting things here as when Perrin gets up, when when Egwene, right? She uses the fire, but then she's also burning his she's burning his his rope so he can get out.
Yeah.
The questioner looks at him and is freaked out because his eyes are bright yellow. So does he know something about that, or is he just sort of something's odd here too?
Yeah, and that could be a clue. Again, from the Dark Friend Social, if we're going to talk about that. I know people were already jumping at, like, at this point I'm open to anything and everything, right? I don't mean call him a dark friend, call him, Valda, whatever. Did he see something? Does he know that this is a sign of something older? Like the yellow eyes is something of the dark, right? Is it just scary enough that it's not Aes Sedai, but yet could he be a male channeler? I mean, who knows what's going through his mind right now? But he did seem to catch on that there was something more to Perrin. It was the eyes that really got him and freaked him out. So
yeah. And then, yes, Egwene does take the ring. So that's going to be interesting when she shows up at the White Tower, I'm presuming in the next episode, with the rings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's again, they're kind of talking about Lan and her, Leandrin was talking about these prizes that she was going to bring. Bringing Nynaeve is a big prize. Egwene was one that she lost. And then she had a couple other ta'veren as well that she'll want to kind of bring in and present to the tower. And now they're going to show up and all is going to be, well. But yeah, so I'm guessing we're right there. We saw how close the Tinkers were when they were taken over by the White Cloaks there. So we should be able to get to I don't think it'll take us a month. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think we're right there.
Definitely getting a handful of comments here about the final minute being maybe a little over the top, like Lan ripping his shirt over. I can agree with that. I think they got their point, but then the scene was maybe a little too long.
My thing is
that it needed to be, but
I thought about that. I've been seeing this comments, and my thing is, I think too they definitely when I kind of felt like this was going to go this direction because Steppen and he in that one episode when they're fighting together and going through the forms, they're trying to build up this, like, maybe they were, they knew each other for a while and they had become friends and there was a closeness to them. And again, both of their Aes Sedai are very powerful, some of the most powerful in their Aja, right? So I feel like they had a bond and they were just trying to really show that. Here's the thing. You can't, when you don't have all that action and all those fights, a lot of channeling and all that kind of stuff, you're trying to make us emotionally connect to the characters. And I think they just said, you know what, screw it. We're going to go big, or it's going to land with some people. And some people are going to be like, that's a little too much for me. A little too, made me feel it gave me chills. I mean, I was sitting there. I mean, by the end, Matt, I was, I was just sitting over here, just like, I was like, let's go.
Hey, I love this comment. Love this comment right here. Love that the White Cloaks became wolf kibble. Yeah, it's really funny. Every time I see this now, and I hope that a few people in our chat get this reference. So, I grew up a professional wrestling fan and there was this sort of group of wrestlers, right, in the 90s, that were the Wolf Pack, right? They were the Wolf Pack, and they have this song, and it's like Wolf Pack is back. And it starts off with like a wolf howling and stuff. And every time I see Perrin, that song just like immediately comes to mind. And so it's so funny. But Valda did see those golden eyes. Now, another thing I thought was kind of interesting was there was no talk of Nynaeve being the Dragon Reborn in this episode, after the last episode seemed to sort of build up the idea that she could be.
Right. I think it was just kind of tabled because, and that was what Leandrin was kind of saying, which is, where have you locked her away? I mean, kind of
right,
hinting at that. And she was trying also to get Nynaeve to go out and walk around and get away from wherever it is that Moraine has kind of tucked you away because of that very thing. And that was what Moraine, that conversation between her and Nynaeve in the beginning was good. I thought Moraine was going to snap back like she does in the books a little bit, but she took a very tender, kind of kind, understanding like approach with her in terms of like, you just channeled. I know this is a lot. Somebody had a comment in here earlier. Someone said that in the midst of the tower, she's still trying to be the wisdom and be strong and all those things, but you can see it almost in her eyes. The acting is great. Zoe Robbins, I mean, freaking a phenomenal job, because I could tell that she was stubborn, that Two Rivers stubborn, but at the same time was like, this is a lot. There is a huge, I'm standing in a huge freaking tower. I just channeled. I did something that I didn't know I could do. I healed everyone in this freaking cave, you know, so it's all kind of catching up. And Moraine is seeing that. And I was just a little touched that Moraine took her on that way, you know?
Yeah. I will say,
So,
Moraine laying in her bed with her boots on. Come on, man.
well, yeah. I know.
I mean,
hey,
you're just gonna get it dirty. What are you doing?
so I know someone in the comments will know this, and I know it's probably something later in the books that I'm misremembering. What is the little door that she opens in her bed chamber there? It looked like there was an image or a picture. Anybody got thoughts on that? Leave me a comment down below here. It might be something spoiler.
Yes.
I don't know.
So just to explain this ritual, because I don't think this has been explained in the books, at least as far as I'm at. He basically takes on all the grief for everybody there. Or what's the deal there?
I think he was maybe just someone who was like closest to him, and so yeah, he was the one who like they channeled the grief through. I mean, and
Right.
then
Because that would sort of explain it a bit more.
right, like I think they all felt a grieving, but he was like the representative that was meant to kind of express that and
Right.
to really show like that's, and it really is kind of a powerful moment. I mean, like he's down there like, I don't know, because you know how like if you're at a funeral, I mean, let's be honest, if you're at something like that and you're holding back like just sobs or tears or whatever anguish, and he was there with him. He wanted to stay with him that night. He was distraught. There, I mean, Moraine is actually literally worried about Lan. I think she knows she's putting her life in harm's way, and that it's part of her calling, what she's supposed to do. And you saw Alana kind of say, "Hey, don't worry, you're going to be around with us for a lot longer." Foreshadowing? Yes. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. And then again, hey, we opened this episode, right, burying all of there were some Aes Sedai, right, and some mortars and stuff like that. We saw that, which is something we had seen in the trailer quite a bit.
Yeah.
Let me see. After that, right, it's just some other kind of things. Matt and Rand's story it felt like they didn't get as much screen time this episode, which is fine. We're going to push that forward, so I imagine that they will possibly be getting a little bit more next episode, as well as Egwene. Remember, we've seen that shot in the trailer of Egwene hugging Nynaeve, sort of in the White Tower.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is that in the next episode, Egwene and Perrin will show up in Tarvalen, and everyone's reunited, and we will sort of go from there. So here's a question for you: as how do we get from where we're at now with really only teasing Rand as being Aiel?
Mm-hmm.
There's been 2 teases of it, and this one confirming it a little bit more, which is cool, because that does happen in the books a lot. Is everyone's like, "Oh, Rand, you look like you're, Aiel, right?" And without necessarily saying it about Rand, other people have sort of said, that when the other people try to sort of lie about where they're from, like Egwene and Perrin, they've said, Aram is like, "No, you're from the Two Rivers. I can tell, right? Just
Right.
the way you look and you talk and everything." And so other than that, we saw Rand sort of knock down that big door.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to go from where we're at now to getting it to be like Rand being possibly the Dragon Reborn? Because the episode description for episode 7 says Moraine reveals who the Dragon Reborn is.
In the next episode or in episode?
So the next 2 episodes, we should theoretically know that Rand is the Dragon Reborn, not Egwene, Perrin, or anybody else.
Well, I just said in her mind, from her perspective, right? Maybe from her point of view, she reveals who she believes to be the Dragon Reborn, and it might be Egwene. She might actually present Egwene or Nynaeve. I think if it's going to be Rand, then we're going to quickly go through a way gate and we're going to get to the Eye of the World, and he's going to be in a desperate situation. Need is always important around the Eye of the World and in the Blight, in terms of finding the Green Man and all that good stuff. So Rand would then be the guy who, because of great need, would call upon the power and surprise us all, right? And that'll be the big shock factor. Now, whether that happens before she reveals him as the Dragon Reborn or after or whatever the deal is, I still think they're doing a great job of, like, because when Logain still seated, like, you couldn't tell whether Logain was looking at Matt or Rand. The way they focused it was on Matt to show us that maybe Matt's going crazy, or maybe Logain thinks that Matt is a male channeler and someone who could be the dragon. That was brilliant. So I think there's still going to be some of that misleading stuff going on, and I don't know, man. When this episode though should all be clear that man stood there and he looked and he saw Dragon Mount and he said,
Yes.
I think I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. Lifetime. I mean, more than once. More than once you've seen it, actually. God, by the light. Let him ride
Here we
again
go.
on the winds of time.
Here we go. So people are trying to break down which we saw, and count seems
cool
to be in the chat 8. So Mogideon, Ravine, Asmodean, Lanfear, Ishamael, Samael, Semrij, and Grendel.
Yeah. Scary looking figurines, and it was cool to see the Forsaken brought up. That's a nice, those are nice little ways to kind of weave it in without throwing it in your face, and to lay these breadcrumbs for things that are going to happen,
right?
Later, right?
Now, Logain looking at Matt and Rand and sort of laughing and hearing possibly some voices. Do you think he heard like darkness that's surrounding Matt? Because it kind of seemed like that. Or do you think he was looking and saying, oh, that might be the dragon in Rand, but then they just sort of zoom in on Matt?
Yeah, I think we might even come back to that later. Though I guarantee you, the setup here, if you're Rafe, and this is what's great. This is why book readers love this. If you're new to all of this, you're looking at it just thinking it's Matt. Either way, it's fine. We've marked this as spoiler, because what you're going to do later, Matt, is you're gonna have Logain talking to Rand, and when this comes up, or when someone says, whenever it's referenced again that he was looking at this individual, whether it be Matt or Rand, he's gonna say, no, I was looking at Rand. He's just gonna say, like, that's who I saw. And it's cool because in the book he has that ability, and he sees something in Rand. Although they're both there. Like in the book, it was literally just Rand. So it was interesting that
they just sort of make it seem like it in this it was Matt because he's laughing, and then they do a close up of Matt's face. Now here's one.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. I'd be curious if they end up leaving out the Forsaken from the books that got Bale fired, since if this is a new turn of the wheel, they wouldn't be in it. Totally burned out of the pattern. Who knows? And I do agree with that. And we've talked about that before. The possibility that we won't necessarily do all of the Forsaken just for show reasons.
Some of them are a joke. Some of them are in there for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Balzamon's kind of a joke, to be completely honest. I mean, like, he never does anything until Rand just sort of beats him, right?
How many times you gotta beat this
guy? Right. So yeah, I do agree that I don't know that we'll get all 13 Forsaken. They could lore dump and just sort of say there were, or there are, or whatever, but I don't know that they're going to specifically show us each Forsaken and make them all out to be a big deal. Obviously the bigger players are going to be bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger players. I actually think it's possible Asmodean gets cut and they move forward Logain a little bit more and have Logain teach Rand later down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they could move a lot of stuff forward, especially with Nynaeve and her abilities. Great reference too, by the way. Someone referenced the yellow Aja looking into Nynaeve, her healing abilities. You think she's gonna become a red or a blue, right? She's been wearing a yellow dress underneath her green dress this whole time. Little things like that that they are putting right in front of book readers and first time show watchers just to kind of hint at stuff and give us a little bit of a, you know, idea of where we might be going, which is cool.
Yeah. Just some other questions here. Well, I have to say, hey, this one right here. Taviran, I was kind of hoping Loyal would say that, but
Yeah.
didn't say it. But I do think that that's going to get explained. I think here shortly. So okay, so one of the things we didn't see, remember, it said that Rand and Matt would see strange ones, right? Strange faces. Really, we met
Right.
Loyal. So we've still yet to meet Min.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We have not guessing we're gonna see her in Tarvallen, you know. I'm guessing maybe she's somewhere around the city and that just she's being kept somewhere. You know, a lot like later on, Min is kept in the White Tower. Once the Aes Sedai have found her, they're really not letting her go. They want to use her talent and things like that, and they'll find a way to keep her. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if she were in Tarvallen somewhere being kept or being allowed to do her thing, but eyes and ears are all, you know, around her.
Well,
And
people are saying Faldara. So, which I think Faldara is episode 8, obviously, because episode 6 we got to do the White Tower stuff. 7 seems like it's going to be the Ways, which takes us to Faldara, and that's where we're going to go. So, the other interesting thing is what's going to happen. What's going to happen in the next episode that causes us to? It's either we're going to have this big sort of assembly with in front of the Aes Sedai, again, which is totally different, right, than the books. Are we going to be dispatched, right? Like what's going to cause us to have to go to Faldara?
yeah, so I think this so right now they're building up this idea that Moraine and Suan are going to be, you know, button heads, and really there's some secret sort of pact between them. We're going to get a side door conversation, right, between those two where she's like, good to see you, old friend. She's going to embrace the whole thing. It's going to happen. They have to do that. And then it's
Right.
going to be like, now I have to look like I'm disciplining someone or coming down hard on you, but you go do your thing. You know,
Yeah,
you
remember there was a leaked so some of the leaked photo stuff that we've seen that we haven't gotten yet. All the stuff with like remember there's like Aiel, and that was even in like one of the teaser trailers. There's like shots of like Aiel fighting and stuff
yeah.
like that,
Mhm.
right? And then remember one of the leaked photos showed Suwan, I think, talking to Moraine, and they were like in this like sort of private room.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that could still be a flashback or something, but that's probably
Well,
next episode.
right, and they could do that kind of lore dump you're talking about, the Aiel War, right, at Dragonmount where Rand is left and all that good stuff. They can do that and just talk about some of it if they want to, or that could be Rand having some, not a flashback, but I mean just talking about that war and setting the stage for his story. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, there we
And
go.
so I
Yeah,
guess I guess I'm just trying to piece together because now, all of the sort of things we've seen in trailers and stuff as we get further along, it ends up okay, well, it can only be in one of these episodes. So which one do you do it and where do you go? It could be cool to get Rand's Aiel backstory a little bit more in like episode 8 as we go over to Faldara.
yeah, it could. People are saying right here, you know, Tam's fever dream, just in a flashback, different ways that you can do it. Somewhere in there, they'll drop some of it. They're doing stuff with dreams as well too. Um, who, yeah, I really don't know when or where that's gonna happen. I think the real question though, and what someone brought up here is, what will cause them to say we need to go to the Eye of the World or to Faldara, Tarwin's Gap? Like, what's gonna? And someone said that Suwan might be have some information coming back from Camelin, had read some signs, or maybe the Tinkers say something. that we didn't see. We didn't see them say anything. Aram, I don't know if they're just if Gwen and Perrin are just running away. Do they go back to the Tinkers first and then get some bit of information that they share from the Aiel? Who knows? But there needs to be something, because that's what happens in Camelin, right? Moraine reads this and sees that, okay, a web of destiny is forming. The Dark One is trying to strike at the eye of the world. There is no time. We need to go there and get there. So who is going to drop that? It's either going to be Suan, or Loyal hasn't said what he's going to say yet, or the Tinkers haven't shared their encounter with an Aiel that they had. That's book or something new in the show. I actually like the idea of Suan doing that, because Suan then matters a bit more, and she's someone who not matters. God, she's the Armerlin seat. Sorry. But she actually then provides some intel to Moraine, because it feels like in the book, in the Great Hunt especially, Suan is kind of, when she talks to Moraine, it feels like she hasn't heard anything from her in quite some time. And so it's like, okay, when she does talk to Moraine, she needs filled in, versus this would be her saying, hey, we need to go to Fal Dara. We need to make a move at the Eye of the World.
Right. So yeah, just to give people sort of a reference here, I got the map pulled up. So right. This is where we're at right now. Obviously, here's Dragon Mountain and stuff like that. And so then we're going to take the ways, and then this is where we'll end up, is in Fal Dara, and that's how it's going to sort of end, pretty close to the Aiel Waste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I wonder if we're going to get all these different things about, like, the Eye of the World. I wonder if we're going to get that referenced. We're going to Fal Dara. Why wouldn't we? They've stuck pretty close. Actually, I know people want to say that we've moved away from the books a bit, but things have been merged pretty well, and we're kind of about in the same spot where we want to be. We know the way gate's coming up. We know we're all going to ride up with horses to this gate, and we're going to go through it to Fal Dara. So that seems to be right on point. We just have to get to the Eye of the World, which will be fascinating to see them do that, and to see if we get the Green Man. That would be fantastic. Moraine, having been there before, knowing that need is what will drive them and what allows them to find access or gain access to it. So it's just who is going to spark us in that direction, and I think it is going to be Suan, actually. So
yeah, 62.5%. We try to do a little bit of math.
Yeah, there you go.
just
I don't know what the titles are yet. If there is a title for episode 8, I think Matt has always told me up through 7 what those titles have been, but yeah.
I believe it is, but there's nothing specific about it. And then we do actually have, I forgot about this, is that we do actually have the title for season 2, episode 1. It was in one of the teasers when they showed it, and that one is called let me see here. That one is called A Taste of Solitude.
Okay.
That's really all we know about that.
That's Rand running from his that's what happens in the Great Hunt. He talks a lot about just taking off, and if it weren't for the horn and chasing the horn and the dagger and his friend, he would just be out of here, So
yeah. And then so episode descriptions. So the titles, the next episode is called The Flame of Tarvalen. Moraine faces the consequences of her actions. Matt faces the darkness in himself. Egwene faces the most powerful woman in the world. The Dark Along the Ways is episode 7. And actually they have removed the title or the description of it, but I believe it was something along the lines of we find out who the Dragon Reborn is, and we're chased by something dark. And then the final episode, is the Eye of the World.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that
wasn't there before, but again, that could be changed. This is IMDb, so who knows? It could be edited or whatever. Nothing sort of official on that yet, but I would say that's pretty interesting, to say the least. Matt, also, shout out, by the way, as we have broken our record.
Oh yeah, thanks guys. This is awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for all that. For everybody hanging out. We had 150, or we had just, I think we were like 142 or something like that last week. And so to be able to smash back through that, hit 160 is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Friends, I got to say something real quick though. I'm doing a click back through, and I'm at 28 minutes, 34 seconds. And I'm telling you right now, if they don't get their hands off of Egwene, I'm gonna lose
Oh,
my
seriously.
ever living mind. I'm clicking back through just to kind of refresh myself on the episode, and it's killing me right now. Like the White Cloaks they're great, but they're terrible. You know what I mean? Like it's
The way
just
they're doing them, man, the way they're doing the White Cloaks is so good. It's
yeah.
so terrible because
Yeah.
I hate them every time he shows up. But that's what when you have a villain that's that good and you hate that villain, that means you're doing it. It means you're doing it right.
Oh, you know what you know what just dawned on me?
Yeah, manhandling a 70 pound God, and they're all just
Oh man, dude. Yeah, that was
yeah.
don't even get me started. Like they got the brushes out, they're scrubbing her clean and all that stuff. Yeah, it's an intense scene. The things that they are doing, like, again, Perrin and his wife, that is that is intense. Matt and his
I like
family.
that we did finally get the sort of
Yeah.
resolve of of that.
Yeah, and Egwene talking him through that and saying, "You're gonna understand. It's not your fault. It was a mistake. All these different things. It's gonna haunt him for a while." But like they're hitting us hard, right, with some of these emotional connections. Here's one for you, Matt. I did this just dawned on me. Nynaeve gives him gives Steppen the tea, right? Gives him the tea, knowing he's having trouble sleeping. He's having all this pain. We hear the other warders talking about what that is like. Alana talks about what it's like, how awful it is for a warder to out survive or to outlive his Aes Sedai. Now, the tea, Matt, who also drank the tea, Lan. Had Lan not have had that tea, he'd be awake. That thing knocks you out. So what the reason I was because I thought like someone was trying to attack Moraine during the episode. I was freaking out. I was like, there's a Forsaken in the freaking White Tower. I was thinking Gray Man. I don't know what, there's all sorts of stuff. But if Lan doesn't have that tea and he sees step outside with a dagger, he's going to stop him. He was staying there for that very reason, but he drank the tea and it knocked him clean out, which is what allowed Steppen to go do what he did. So
I right here, I from R.M. Venjari. I remember, I can't pronounce that.
good try.
I hope the wolves attacking would have been more graphic just because of Egwene's scene before. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. Some people were saying they were talking about the wolves not being. I think people were expecting dire wolves. I think they were
Right.
expecting dire wolves, and they're just wolves.
You
So
could change that. You could make them. You could make them.
yeah, I think wolves are fine, but I think when I read it too, I did think of them as more bigger, more menacing, and things like that. And they're just wolves. They're just regular.
Great comment here by Janes. If the White Cloaks are this bad, I really dread the day we see the Shan Chan.
Wow, good call. Good freaking call.
It's kind of
'Cause
like
they're
in Game of
awful.
Thrones, where you're like, God, I hate Joffrey. And
Yeah,
then they're like, just wait until you meet this new guy, Ramsay Bolton. And it's like,
yeah.
oh my God.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think in the comments, you guys let me know. I think are we seeing the Shan Chen this episode? Or not this episode, but this season?
Season.
I heard.
I think that's a season 2 thing.
I think so too. But I thought I'd heard someone say we might see one or like an epilogue thing where they're showing up or something in Faldara or not Faldara, Falma. So
Yeah, the wolves are the size of wolves. Yeah,
it's cool.
I think they're sweet.
I do too. I do too. Yeah.
Wolf pack.
Right. Right. Yeah, we've been hearing them. By the way, we've been hearing them for episodes. We saw them
Yes.
chasing, like leading Perrin to the Tinkers, but we heard them before that. Rand is hearing them in the mountains. We've heard them since episode 1, which is really cool that they've been there that long. So, yeah.
Okay. Yes. Hey, good point here. Now, Egwene has already been captured once. Okay. How many times are we gonna see it?
Yeah, yeah. I think they're gonna just do,
start the Egwene / Nynaeve / Elaine capture count.
Now, according to them, they always get out of it on their own. They didn't need Matt's help down in,
Okay.
Stone and Tier. Okay, they didn't need his help. So
I will say I did tweet something out the other day. Wow, kind of went viral a little bit in the Wheel of Time community, talking about circus chapters that we could potentially see later, and everyone agreed with me.
Yeah. Well, it just shows you there's things that you can cut. There are things that are going to be more accepted by, I think, book readers to say, yeah, we can cut that. So,
but yes, let's go ahead and start the counter. right? She's already been captured once. How many times are we gonna see it?
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, this was cool actually. I want to talk about this. This is something that there wasn't a whole bunch of it really. But the little scene where Nynaeve is talking to Rand, which I actually thought was kind of cool. It almost kind of gets buried in the episode because there's just so much else going on. But when she's talking about Nynaeve and her sort of resolve, right? I love the Nynaeve dialogue about Egwene. She is unbreakable. That was actually really cool, and also sort of helped build Nynaeve as the healer, right? And then we can also use that later to understand this is how she was able to. Maybe Nynaeve will sense her. No, because Nynaeve's there when she shows up in the trailer, at least.
Yeah, but it's still going back to the tracking thing, answering Land's question for him, like, how did you track us, right? Yeah, the whole bit about her healing Egwene is pretty cool. Egwene shouldn't even be here, right? Shouldn't even be alive, but something happened that night between her and Nynaeve. That was really cool. Glad they brought that up, actually.
Cut Fail. That's
What?
I know people
What is wrong
are,
with people?
people are all about, I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm just not far enough into the books yet, but I actually don't dislike Fael, but maybe I don't know, maybe I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm just at the beginning of book 6, so
Yeah, you guys got to come check out the podcast and see Matt's reaction to that stuff later on.
right.
So,
But I
yeah.
do think she is fantastic. I am beginning to enjoy certainly. I think man, the more we get into this too, the casting and everything I just agree with so much more. Like the first few episodes I was kind of like, even like, I don't know, Perrin, just like I just have a different image of him in my mind, but I'm
Mhm.
beginning to sort of feel it more and more. I would say that of the 5, I do think maybe I feel like maybe he hasn't had the most amount of time. Rand
Okay.
hasn't had the most amount of time as like, oh, he's going to be our key figure.
Mhm.
Like Nynaeve's definitely had a lot of sort of screen time and sort of character building. Matt has had a lot.
Yeah.
Even though you don't really have to do a lot with him because you just have to show him as being sick and like angry. And I think they're doing really well with him. But I feel like Perrin. I need a little more Perrin.
Yeah, it's been with Egwene. He's been it's that quiet, reserved nature that he's doing a lot with his body language. He's there, just isn't saying a whole lot. And then this episode, I think they've but you're right, overall they have balanced the Emmons fielders pretty well. They've
Yeah, just in terms of screen time and who's getting time and everything.
yeah.
Actually, I would say that the majority of this season has been Moraine, which is fine because she's your lead and she's who you're sort of running this show through, and then eventually it's like it'll hand off the reins to everyone else.
Yeah, and what's crazy is she was sick for so long. You know what I mean? That was different. Talk about a couple things that they're doing that are different. We're getting to see these interactions between the Reds and the Blues earlier on. Tower politics. Something interesting that Steppen did, and I'm just as I'm clicking through here seeing this again. They had that burning ring, that fire, where it was his job to take his Aes Sedai's ring back to the tower and drop
Yeah,
that in the cast it into the fire, right? I mean, like
yeah.
destroy it. Like threw the ring in there, burned. It was freaking Mount Doom situation. That was kind of cool. I didn't know that was a thing, and that's kind of neat to see this. These traditions or whatever between the warders and their Aes Sedai, and just the bond that they have, and this level of connection. Really cool
Yeah,
stuff.
they did melt it like the one ring.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go. Somebody's saying they didn't like this episode. I've been enjoying the show, but this episode was so bad.
yeah.
Yeah, again, some people did not like particularly just the last little bit
Hmm.
of it, and I can see that. I can see that. And then I think some people were possibly turned off a little bit by Loyal. I think Loyal looks better than I thought he would.
Love his voice. Love his voice.
And his mannerisms are on point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know Loyal's like a fan favorite. People really like him. He definitely had the talk, continues talking while the humans go about their business, and you humans was mentioned a lot. The writing for him was good. as you said, maybe they'll improve on some of that. I know it's talked about him being as like in the books like the size of a Trolloc, and they showed us how big Trollocs can be
Right.
in the Two Rivers. So
Right.
he is kind of
The other
small,
thing
but
the other thing to keep in mind too, and I was actually reading somewhere where they said that one of the things that was affected the most was because of COVID. Remember, the show started filming and then it got shut down. They had to reopen and all that stuff.
mhm.
Was like practical effects. They said that was something that because you now don't have as many times to do these sort of bigger scenes that require a lot of setup, which was one of the, I think, some of the things that people were talking about in the last episode, with some of like the graphics and stuff like that, where they're having the battle in the woods. But because I did specifically see them say something about that was one area which, because of the COVID sort of just impact of filming, was that they didn't have as much time to film as many scenes, to sort of redo scenes for practical effects and stuff. So they just kind of, whatever take they got, they sort of had to roll with. So
Yeah.
that is something that, I do expect actually season 2. Again, if they've already greenlit up to season 3, I
Mhm.
expect that the budgets of season 2 and season 3 will be that much bigger. Plus, it won't have that initial impact of COVID. And then also, you've now sort of built your style and everything, and you can look back and sort of reflect upon what everyone's saying. So I think season 2 was going to seem like a big step up, but I would say where we're at already is great. But
Well,
it's
yeah, think about
know
that,
that
but despite COVID,
right,
right? That this is where it's at. I actually think people should be saying the same thing, which is that it's impressive given everything that happened. The reshoots are having to like move stuff, stop stuff, and it's
right.
crazy.
So it's like season 2, I think, is going to feel like a huge step up.
Right. Right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Um,
Yeah, loyal. Yeah, here we go. I think this one's good too. Yeah, loyal. Makeup 7, actor 9, lines 9.5. Yeah, he was great.
mhm,
He,
mhm,
I think he's got it. It's also going to be interesting to see, because now we've already sort of established our group a little bit, even though they've been split up. Like I can see them doing stuff together. I know they're all going to get split up and stuff like that, but when there's scenes where they're all doing stuff together, it's going to fit and flow. But now we are bringing on that other person that ends up sort
mhm.
of being with the group for quite a bit, which is loyal. And I think he's going to work out great. It's going to be he's a great. I love Loyal's like one of my favorite in the books.
Yeah,
He's just
it's
so hilarious. Like
that scene when so something that to his spirit, and you talk about the spirit of a character, when he comes in, if you watch, because I'm clicking back through it, he just keeps walking back and forth and talking while they're all talking. Loyal's just back
right,
there doing his thing.
it's just doing
And
his
he's just
thing.
doing his thing. And they I think they take his volume down a notch, and he's just doing his thing. He's got that kind of bumblebee, that voice or whatever. That's really cool. So, um, yeah, he does need a horse now. No way he can keep
Yeah.
up with those small feet. That's funny. Um,
Here we go. What about the Green Man? Do you think we will see the Green Man in episode 8? I'm guessing, which is the Eye of the World.
yeah, I think so. I do. I think if you want to build this up to be the fantasy that it is, and take us to that level of high fantasy, yeah, you need to show us stuff that people aren't used to seeing. The clips that I think we want people to see are when you get to the Eye of the World, you want to see what is a visually like a pool of pure Saidin look like. What's the chest, the dragon's banner, the horn of Valir, all those things are these things that we're going to see. Like those items will be, I think, really important. Um, and I think we have to see him too. It just makes it more fantastical, even if it's just for a few moments, and actually having, I don't know, one Forsaken or the Forsaken show up would be a big deal. I don't know. This is where I'm kind of saying I don't know that it'd be too hard to get those types of
Okay.
things.
Here's another question. I'll toss this to you, as and I'll toss it to and I want to see what you guys think in the chat. Yeah, because there's almost an answer right there. Is what is going to be the conflict that we have in episode 8? Because I almost feel like this. So we've been seeing sort of Balsamon in the dreams, right? And now we get a little bit about the Forsaken. So what is I think this next episode with Suan stepping on the stage, we're probably going to get some more lore about the Forsaken, and here's what's going on, and
Mhm.
here's why we need to find the Dragon Reborn, and here's why it's important. Because right now it's been sort of the White Cloaks and Leandrin. So are we gonna have to bring in that dark one? I would say now, because if episode 7 is the ways, you're gonna need to be like, okay, the dark one's after us.
Mm-hmm.
So then how do you introduce a villain other than Balzamon, who we've been seeing in our dreams, to be this villain that we're gonna have to fight at the end of season 1?
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm seeing Dark Friends and Forsaken all over the place because even in today's episode, I thought, holy smokes, someone is going to end up being, we call it glamored in Game of Thrones, but they're going to have woven something over themselves where they look different. Lanfear looks different. I thought they were going to change something up in the sequence and drop a freaking Forsaken or a member of the Black Aja in on us here early to show us that something's up. But there will need to be a lore dump on us, and that's okay. They're giving us lore in the behind the scenes or the X-ray stuff, which is great. I mean, so folks who are into that and want more context for this world, that is there. They're doing a lot on Amazon on the platform. So yeah, I think it's you have to explain why does the Dark One would want to get there. Not only does he want the dragon, maybe he wants to keep the dragon from getting to that pool. Maybe he wants there has to be a reason to get there before him and stop him. You know what I mean? Because it's not just there to go save the Green Man or protect the Green Man. It's like, why would he be striking at the Eye of the World? You got to tell us that too, and which means telling us a bit more about what's there. Or they keep that a mystery to the Emmons Field 5, but the Aes Sedai, you get a sense that they know the significance of it and we don't. You kind of keep the audience and your Emmons Fielders in suspense a little bit, and then you can say we need to go there, and you're all like, well, why? I mean, the audience who hasn't read the books or don't know what's going on, what's so significant? But you can see it in actors' faces, like, oh shoot, there's something big at this place, and we don't know what it is, and they're gonna drop it on us in episode 8. You know what I mean? You got to build some sort of dramatic irony, suspense, whatever.
Right. So yeah, we definitely need to set up some sort of conflict. Now it could just be the Trollocs and stuff like that, because I mean we're going to Faldara, right? It seems like, and we've seen in the trailers and teasers that they shown. What's the guy's name? I always forget blank on it. That we're gonna run into. Who's the guy that's in charge there?
Where
did we see Uno? Did we see Uno in the?
Lord Agamar is there,
right.
and like in Faldara, yeah. I don't know if we saw him or not. And then I don't know if we saw Ingtar or any of those guys. I don't know if they've actually mentioned any of their names or not up in Faldara, but that would be. I'm sure we're gonna get their names dropped at some point. So.
Yeah, that would be the Great Hunt, which I actually think we could see at the beginning of next season. Now the other thing, I do still think we're gonna get it in this season, as I think I still think it's possible we get the Lews Therin prologue as a dream that Rand has. There has been casting for Lews Therin. I'm guessing that's going to be season 2. But I still think we could get it in terms of misty figures, and you just sort of hear, maybe he's having this dream, but you're hearing in it like Ilyena, or however you want to do that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Someone, because I think you had asked this last episode, when she goes up to Logain and she hears him talking about other dragons and different stuff, she doesn't believe him, right? He doesn't fit the age. The Trollocs aren't after him, as Lan says. The Dark One doesn't seem to be after him. She says, we don't know if the Dark One knows who the Dragon Reborn is any more than we do, but she's not convinced that he is the Dragon Reborn. And there has to be something that Rand or one of our Emmons Fielders says that is going to convince her that that's the one, that's the person. Is it just their ability to channel and their power level? Because with the female channelers, yeah, she can sense that. But like if it's Rand or if they do a Matt situation, can she really sense that power level? She needs more. She needs something. And by the way, did you see the book? Rand picked up the Koreathon cycle, the prophecies of the dragon. Like, let's go. Yeah. That's the little tiny stuff. Those are the little tiny things. Seeing Dragamount, picking that book up, wondering about these things. It's going to take us to that level. We know that's where they're going. It's a great idea to shift around. Is it Nynaeve? Is it Egwene? Is it Perrin? Is it Matt? All that stuff is really cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think that's probably an okay place to stop the podcast. As and I are recording this podcast, we're not going anywhere for any of you guys hanging out here on YouTube. So we're just going to do sort of a quick outro, but we're not leaving at all if you're hanging out here on YouTube. So for those of you guys who are listening on the podcast, be sure to come hang out with us on YouTube, because we hang out for last time we did like a 5-hour stream.
My God, yeah.
So who knows? So anyway, for any of you guys listening here on the podcast, we do appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time for episode 6, which I believe is called The Flames of Tarvalen. Be sure to check out some of our other stuff as well, as I have tons of extended content on Patreon and Apple Podcast Premium, which is also a great way on Apple Premium to get access to the premium content and extra stuff on all of our podcasts, which include Bend the Knee, which is a Song of Ice and Fire podcast, Hyperspace Hangout, a Star Wars podcast, and one of our brand new shows. We just started doing a reread of Harry Potter, the Elder Wand podcast. So be sure to check that out. So with that, we want to thank you, and remember that the grave is no bar to our call.
The Flame of Tarvalen, and freaking Egwene is over here shooting flames out of her hands. Like, what the heck, man? This is some cool stuff. I'm going through this clip like piece by piece here, and it's beautifully shot, by the way. Let's remember that this is beautifully shot. It's a gorgeous.
All right, now I'm gonna do sort of a re-click through here as and just begin to see what I gotta do a click through here.
Yeah, this is like, I'm looking at the figurines for the Forsaken. Scary, man. I don't know, I feel like if the White Cloaks saw you with some of those figurines of the Forsaken, they'd be like, dark friend. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Absolutely.
Like,
I will say, man, the way the Tuathawan are in this is cool too, where they stand right up to the Tinker, they stand right up to the White Cloaks.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Wow, that was good. That was a good episode. That was yeah, it was good. Gosh, by the light.
Yeah, see, Rand. I think I've seen it before, talking about the dragon. And here we go. Look, this is so cool with the little X-ray stuff. So right here, general trivia. Dragonmount was created by the previous champion of the light and the original dragon. After going completely insane when he returned from sealing the Dark One in its prison, he ruthlessly slaughtered his entire family, leaving no one from his bloodline alive. In a moment of horrified realization, the dragon drew more of the one power than he could hold, creating a bar of white-hot energy. The pillar vaporized the dragon with a blast so powerful the earth was split open, breaking the crust and creating the volcanic eruption that is now Dragonmount. The X-ray stuff is super cool, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I know it does kind of require you to sort of now. Okay, I want to click through this because I missed Padan Fane.
Oh yeah. There for a split second, someone said they heard the whistling as well. Like, that was something that they heard, and I thought that's kind of cool. Like, he's been whistling. He was whistling on this way into Two Rivers, and he's been whistling in Shadow Logoth. And they heard when he went to the inn, when they checked in with the innkeeper, Rand and Matt, in this episode, there was whistling. Apparently, I didn't hear it. I have to go back and listen to that. So, yeah.
Loyal. I'll come with you. Just give me a second.
Right. Yeah.
So great.
He needs the time. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, man. Let's see here.
All right. Where's Padan Fane at?
Yeah, let's do. Let me see here.
I don't see him, man. Where's he at?
Oh, it's here. I'll find a timestamp for you.
I'm in it right now. I'm sure I'll see it. Oh, there he is. Wow. So
what's your
timestamp?
What's the timestamp?
Okay, 20 minutes 28 seconds. I'd screen share it, but I don't want to.
No, that's okay.
Flat. I don't want to get.
There he is. There he is.
He's literally just sitting there, but it's like there's so much other commotion. You would be so easy.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool.
Easy to miss.
Yeah,
yeah. See, I didn't see it.
Hey, and those are. Did you see those novices? Those are novices in white.
Yes,
from the tower, which is pretty cool, right?
Because and then you do hear him laugh, and then the way the camera is not even specifically focused on him, and then it's
God,
tiny little stuff like this is just so great.
Yeah. It's so busy. Tarvalen is so busy.
Yeah, so I mean, so clearly they've and again we already saw this. So they've already moved everything to Tarvalen, which we sort of knew and thought would happen. Everything that was going to be in Camelin. So
yeah,
just looking here again. Yeah, so cool. Which is it's also great because now it means that. So okay, so then we must. Do you think we go to Camelin in season 2?
Oh yeah,
because Elaine is cast.
I think we do,
but they don't go to Camelin, do they?
What in
books 2 or 3?
In book 3, yeah, Matt does. But yeah, no, it's Kyrian in book 2.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll probably maybe they play some of the game of houses, or in Camelin. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, anything else you note? I don't believe that they have the and then we should get a new bonus. Like remember they give us the little lore. They've been doing that as well.
Right. I was gonna kind of see who or what the name of that or what the title of it was. Has anybody in the comments watched it by chance? The lore dump. Gosh, man. When the Logain procession, I'm watching it right now. There's so much going on. There's so many things you can look at. I'm trying to get some screenshots and just take a look at it. Rand's always got that sword tucked in there, nice and tight to his chest. He's got that Heron marked blade, buddy. He pulls it out on Loyal.
Yes, he does. The X-ray bonus is on the White Tower this week. Okay. Will Elaine come with her mother to the tower to become a novice?
Oh, that'd be cool. Just to kind of see.
That's
Queen
Ryan.
Yeah.
Who, by the way,
Ryan.
Ryan, I can send you a link in our Facebook chat if you want to come on.
Bum 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 bum.
Who knows? A lot of these events do happen in the books, just in different places at different times. I love how true they stay to the heart. And that's something that they've done. They have definitely been doing, is staying true to sort of the nature of this. Even Loyal, right? Like I think general consensus is we're like, his costume could be a little bit better, but I think all in all, it seems like we all sort of feel like they get it, they nail it out of the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the way he feels and the way he's, just the way his general look and feel and voice and everything. So, you can always improve a little bit.
This is cool. I did not. So the little things like an Oliver sighting, I don't know if that's, in there or not. But that'd be kind of cool.
First super chat here from our good buddy, Sir Jimmy.
Does that function work? Holy smokes,
yes,
man.
It does. Yeah.
Jimmy, what the
codes. Everybody, he runs a great channel, by the way, for anybody who's interested in fantasy books. He just started covering manga as well. I know,
guys. He's also a huge fan. He's a huge fan of the Wheel of Time.
He's a huge fan of the Wheel
Huge
of Time.
fan. He loves
it, man. He absolutely loves
Actually, we have had him on, and he I forget which book he's been up through. It was reading along with the podcast for a while.
He much like me took a little bit, is like, man, book 5 kind of derailed both of us a little bit, but I will say, Jimmy, hey, book 6, man, I'm back. Wow, like literally the prologue, and like, all right, I'm back in.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see, it's airing already. I thought it was not until I know
this is everybody go check out Jimmy's channel. If you like other fantasy books. He actually just interviewed Steve Erickson, the Malazian author.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy awesome is what it is. Yeah, this has been coming up a lot. Like I told my assistant principal, I said, "Hey, the episode's out on Thursday," and he was like, "Huh? What?"
Yeah, 4
Kinda cool.
p.m. Pacific is 4 p.m. Pacific. I live in Pacific time, so yeah, 7
Hey, is this
Eastern.
the most streamed show of the year? Is that what they said so far? Like this?
They're saying yeah, it's
Wow, wow.
episode for book 6 is not out. I have read the prologue. As in I could record at any time, but we're just gonna wait until the show is over to get to before we dive back into the book. So beginning of January is when that will go up. But I will say, like for me, book 5 kind of derailed me a little bit. I agree with Jimmy. Book 5, man, I don't know. There's things I didn't like about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly circus chapters.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Man, book 6, boom. Yeah, it is beating Hawkeye right now.
Is it really? Hawkeye's not bad. I watched the first 3 episodes.
I haven't started with those. I kind of wait until there's like 3 to 4 out because they're only like 6 episodes.
Okay.
Right. So I kind of wait, but I will be watching Boba Fett when that comes out, as in I will be covering that, by the way, on our Star Wars channel, Hyperspace Hangout. So you can definitely check it out.
Heck yeah.
Wheel of Time is the most pirated show this year.
What? Really?
Let's go.
Really? I mean, come on now, folks. Y'all got Amazon Prime. We know you do. You're shipping packages to your to the house.
Grand Mountain Time. The Heron Mark Blade was a bit of a disappointment design wise for me. One of the things they haven't shown is they show when Tam pulls it out. They do a close up of the Heron.
Yeah.
But but they haven't shown like the close up of the Heron again on Rand's sword, or they haven't really said anything about Lan having a similar, sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see how they go about all the Blade Master stuff. I think we will have our buddy Ryan on here just because we want to make a little bit more, just some YouTube comments or some YouTube content, and just maybe get his thoughts on the show. So
Absolutely.
And if any of our other patrons are in here, by the way, and you want to come on and just again send us a message and
absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, how's the Heron gonna get on Rand's hands when there's not one on the handle? There is actually one on the, I think in the episode 1 when Tam pulls it out, it's right there in part of the not the cross guard, but the piece of metal that's above the cross guard that sort of holds the blade. Yeah.
I guess I really want to ask. I
think there is. People are saying I'm surprised there's not one on the hill. If you go look at episode 1 when Tam pulls it out, I think they close up on it and you can see it. It is on the sword.
Mm-hmm. It was on the box too, which was really kind of cool. When he pulls out that box that it's kept in, that was really
pretty
awesome.
Let me actually, I bet I could probably find it here. Let me see if I can find it here in episode 1. I will say I lost my mind in episode 1 when that happened. When Tam pulls out the sword, especially because it's like we were so hyped because it was like just come out. I literally stood up in my room. I should have been recording and I was like, "Let's go, baby.
Let's go!" Yeah, I was sick.
Here, I will get it pulled up here.
Let me see here. Man, is this like, I'm looking at this flame again? I'm doing a click through here. Is this like the eternal flame? Freaking the warders casting these rings, and it's just. I'm just kind of blown away by this because Egwene's bringing those rings back, and she's gonna have to cast all of them in the fire. I'm guessing, or somebody.
Yeah, they do show it. I have it pulled up right here. God, hopefully that goes away. 1 second here. Screen share. don't know why it does this every time, but it's So they do show it right here.
Oh,
episode
nice.
1. Episode 1, they do show the Heron on the blade.
Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome.
They just haven't focused. They haven't focused on it since then.
Right. Matt, give me 1 second. We're just going to hang out here. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Go right ahead. Yeah.
I think we got Ryan coming in here and
in a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do show the Heron. I'm surprised that Lan doesn't have a Heron marked sword. A missed opportunity to brag. I think he will actually have one. I think that they're just going to bring it back. They just haven't specifically focused on it yet. Yeah, Lan explains the history of his sword, the sword of Malkir, at the start of the Great Hunt when talking to Rand about his sword. Oh, the books say the Lan's sword does not have a Heron on it. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting when we get Lan sort of training Rand how to fight. That's probably gonna be season 2. I think season 2 is going to be a blend, as and I've talked about this. I think it's going to be a blend of the Great Hunt and the Dragon Reborn. I think they're going to shove both of those books into one season. And let me pull this up too. Because we've talked about this before. There's this really cool website that sort of breaks down the word count of Wheel of Time. Right here. And so we've talked about this, and it's like, okay, how do we begin to sort of get this show to, let's just say, 8 seasons, just for the bolster. Okay, yeah. And so, but how do we get this show right to sort of say 8 seasons, right? That's a meaty season to get through both those books. Although, so the Eye of the World, right, is around 300,000 words. And again, just because it has this many words doesn't mean that they aren't words we could cut out. Because when you get to some of these books, right, The Shadow Rising, The Fires of Heaven, Lords of Chaos, remember, Perrin's not even in this book, which is book 5. So, I don't think they're going to Bran Stark him and not show him for an entire season. I think you're going to move stuff around and cut stuff out. And again, there's also like 4 to 5 chapters of circus chapters that you could probably cut out, and other things like that. So the next 2 books, The Great Hunt and The Dragon Reborn, I think you could knock that out in one season by blending stuff. We've talked about the ending of The Great Hunt and the ending of The Dragon Reborn. I think you could almost just sort of merge that and have that be one event. And then as you go forward is where you really have to start making some decisions about how do we possibly start to sort of blend this stuff together. Now, once you get into here, some of these books like Path of Daggers, Winter's Heart, these are shorter books. So you can begin to sort of, you don't have as much material you have to work with. But then when you get to the end, and I haven't gotten there myself, but for everybody I've talked to, I think you almost, Memory of Light's pretty much just got to be its own season. I don't know how you could not have that be its own season. So comment here. How do we feel about all the warders bonding their grief to Lan at the funerals? Behind the episode feature, Rafe said that Lan took on all their grief. So that is interesting, because that's something that we were talking about. I think maybe they could have
did they do that?
Just explained that a little bit better, and I think it would have made the scene,
because we didn't understand the warder bond. I didn't quite get how they
they kind of say that a little bit, but I feel like they could have taken a few more seconds to explain that just a little bit better.
Yeah, he was bearing all of their grief, and it was just like, wow, it was intense. Real intense moment.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit about where are we going to start pulling stuff out. Right here, I think too much happens in 2 and 3 that's worth telling to over condense. Then right here, books 8 and 10 are so slow, lots of words with very little happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, books that's your Winter's Heart and stuff like that, and those are some of the shorter books. So
yeah,
maybe when we get to like seasons, 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 is going to be like all three of these. I mean, Path of Daggers, Winter's Heart, and Crossroads of Twilight. Could you turn that into one season?
One season? I don't. Maybe one. 1.5. I don't
Because
know.
I feel like even without reading it, doesn't Memory of Light pretty much have to be its own season?
Yeah, a lot happens. I mean, God, it's fascinating when you listen to Brandon Sanderson talk about the last three books. The last three books, it was supposed to be one book, and there was just so much that he had penciled down. They were like, "There's no way," and he kind of filled in some of the gaps. And
Yeah, I love seeing the Warders. More land, more Warders. I do too. The books, we don't really get enough about the Warders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
So yeah, and then this one's going to be hard as what do you do here? The Shadow Rising, Fires of Heaven, and Lords of Chaos. Now, I just started Lords of Chaos, but just from reading these two, I mean, like Perrin's not in this one, and so could you? Yeah, how do you blend that? I mean, how do you begin to start to blend some of this stuff? Because it seems like season 1 is just Eye of the World, just fine,
right? Yeah. How do you blend it? My gosh, man, you could. Let me think here. Gosh, some of the more important. Okay, okay. Here you go. A lot of the stuff with like Nynaeve splitting up from Nynaeve and Elaine later when they split up and they go do their whole thing and they find an Idom and they go with Tom and Julian and there's that whole arc and Egwene goes with like some things can just be you can do more of that stuff with other Aes Sedai or in the tower or I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I don't know, man. Are they doing it feels like they are just going with Eye of the World. So I don't really know what you can cut out from where I'm the one who said like in Great Hunt, I think you can cut out quite a bit.
I think that Great Hunt and Dragon Reborn are pretty. I think you could merge those because like Rand is barely in the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah,
a lot of it is him just off by himself, and then the Great Hunt is them hunting for the horn. And I think you just move it all to Tyr, and then you just have them blow the horn of Valir in Tyr, and Rand gets Kalandor, and you just have that all take place at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely there's something there. I think that's a possibility. So you asked specifically about the Shadow Rising. I just had to think for a second. Like a lot of the stuff with Avienda, training Rand in the ways of the Aiel. Like, do we need chapter after chapter for talking about that? Okay. Okay.
Do we need the circus chapters? Okay, I mean that's
right. Well, I mean, yeah.
Do the girls need to get captured 6 times?
Mm-hmm. Well, what are you going to do with them? I guess that's my thing is I'm trying to figure out what do you do if you don't do the circus chapters, then what do you do? If you don't do
I think you could knock out. I think you could knock out the circus stuff in one episode.
Okay, so this one
2 at most.
Yeah. So they just need to go on their own kind of quest from the Stone of Tyr. They then have to go.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Right here. Yeah. The horn was used way before the Stone of Tyr. Yeah, I know it was. Yeah. But the question is, you have to begin to start blending stuff. And I would say that I think, we talked about this, like plot wise, they're still on pace, but I don't think it's going to be 14 seasons. So are you surprised at how?
Yeah, I am.
What do you think about the pace?
I'm surprised that we've done as much as we have in this amount of time, but also that we haven't gone as far as I thought we were going to. You know what I mean? It's like they've done a lot. I kept saying they're packing these episodes. They're full. They're jam packed, but yet still we're about where we should be kind of in terms of like in Camelin and all this stuff is happening in Camelin, and then it's just boom to the ways.
Yeah, Rafe is talking like it's going to be 8 seasons.
If that's the case, we basically only got through Eye of the World content in 1 season. So you now have
I feel like there
13 more books to condense into 7 seasons.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point. That's what we're saying. Like that, we thought they were going to go a bit further, like go into some of the Great Hunt stuff, and maybe they will.
Yeah. So I do feel like power wise, we're almost further along than they are in the books. Like Perrin already in episode 5 is like, hey, the wolves won't hurt you. That's like book 4 before he really begins to sort of understand the wolves.
Yeah.
So we're way further along there. Like sort of power development. They're way like Nynaeve just went Super Saiyan. I mean, she, you know.
I think let me ask a question to the group of people in here listening. Stephanie brings up a really good point here. You can't use the same time, like the timelines or whatever, the events, like they might unfold in different just different timeline or whatever. Do you think we need to hunt the Black Aja out of the Stone of Tyr the way that we do? Like, could we just cut right back to like the tower kind of dividing Swan and all that stuff? I mean, that's a possibility, right? Oh, there we go. There he is.
Ryan is in, man.
Let's
Hey
go.
guys.
Ryan, we know you're limited on time. Okay. So, because I want to use you for some YouTube content and because folks love your thoughts. Ryan, what were your thoughts? Initial reaction coming out of this episode? How you feeling?
This is kind of like a nice little palate cleanser after the craziness of last episode. I've seen some of the comments, and I'm behind you guys, so I haven't seen much of your streaming so far tonight. So I apologize if I'm rehashing some of the stuff you guys have already gone over. I did not like this episode at all. I really enjoyed it. It's just so I don't want it to come across that way. But it wasn't like last week. The last week was really good. Right. But this week was good. We got a lot of information. We got a lot of backstory. A lot of, someone said Easter eggs. That's right. We got a lot of that. Foreshadowing. I've got a lot of notes here where I'm putting that kind of thing in my note here. I'm like, oh, we're getting a little bit of this.
Right.
I really enjoyed it. It was really calm until the end. It got really crazy and really emotional at the end. Yeah. The actors did a great job. Actors and actresses did a great job selling that last scene with Steppen's ceremony. It was really powerful.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I also felt too, like, as you said, a lot of the things, even with the white cloaks, that was hitting towards the end, but there was this tension that was building every time you cut back. I mean, every time we cut away from the white cloaks, I was thinking, what's going on over there? Is Egwene gonna channel? Is Perrin gonna break out yellow eyes? I wasn't so sure we were gonna see the yellow eyes actually, and that was awesome. Right?
Did you catch the yellow eyes at the beginning when he's strapped to that? It's not a chair, but because it was just that first shot of his face, and then it didn't come back until she burns his hand ropes.
Yeah.
So I had to go back and skip back a few paces to see it because I wasn't sure if I'd caught that or not. But that was really cool. And then I was like, let's go. And then you get the change from the book where she's the one that kills him. So crazy. Which is fine. That doesn't bother me at all. It's that because those two are together. So the storyline from the book is still going to be the same here. The White Cloaks are going to be chasing those two forever because they killed so many cloaks.
Right. And also here's the thing too. So Eamon Valda saw that Perrin had those yellow eyes, dark friend. Like, I think here's the thing, right? What stuck out to me was that the White Cloaks are looking for dark friends, but they don't really find true dark people who maybe have pledged themselves to the shadow or something. A lot of times they're just Jeffrey Bornhold will say that they're seeing dark friends everywhere, right? Now the look on his face was like, holy, I mean, as far as he felt like he could have been staring at one of the Forsaken. That's how scared he looked when he saw Perrin, because this was unnatural. This was the Dark One's touch on someone.
Yep.
Yeah. So. It seems like, and then again, remember earlier they said, hey, there's Trollocs this way. Perhaps you could help. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The White Cloaks are just bullies.
What do you guys think of Stephanie's comment there? Do you think he's done in the show now, or is he coming back?
No way. No.
He's too huge, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. And that was the thing. So are they going to make the connection what I'm wondering about is the wolves attack that white cloak group, but do they connect the wolves to Perrin? Because Perrin, like you said, Ryan, he didn't really kill any of those white cloaks necessarily, but like Egwene definitely stabs one. So she's in trouble, but he's a dark friend. Are they going to, because someone has to, like in the book, it's Varen, I believe. Maybe it's Moraine too, who talks about what's going on with Perrin in his eyes and the yellow eyes, and this being something beyond the age of legend, something super old and ancient. So I don't know that the White Cloaks would have that type of knowledge or if they're going to make that connection or not, but he seemed to know something. He seemed to know it was just real bad. So, Ryan too, while I'm thinking, while we're on that scene, were you like me when they had their hands on Egwene? I was. I mean, I could have hit somebody right then and there, man. I was like, let her go. That was crazy, man.
Yeah, could you imagine what would be going through Perrin's mind and how he would be reacting if he was there to see that?
The wolves would have came a lot sooner.
Yeah,
The wolves.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's what I thought because So when I watched it in my mind, I'm going right to Game of Thrones, right? When they've got Cersei in the jail cell and they're cutting her hair and they're, when she's captured by the I've completely lost the name of the group, but did
the religious cult?
Yeah, the religious cult. Did they wash her and everything right there in front of his desk, or was it in a different room? Because it felt like a different room, but then all of a sudden she's there. They put the white cloak on her and she's there in front of the desk, and the guy walks away with the bucket and the sponge, and I'm like, did they just do all that right there?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm not sure.
That's the thing. So, I mean, again, he was eating while one of the witches was burning, and that was right in front of him. I mean, I know he was walking, but at the same point in time, you couldn't tell when he got in there and was just waiting for them to dress her and then, whatever. Yeah, it was. That's the thing. What this show does is it puts you in when things get a little graphic or whatever. It's not graphic it's graphic in terms of like I feel
right. It's not Game of Thrones.
No. I was like, God, don't. I mean, because she has such a an innocence to her. She's again, all of them coming from the Two Rivers feel like they're just these wide-eyed kids coming into the world, and so that's why Nynaeve, I love her. The way her actions is like she's coming after them. Those are her people. Those are her
very protective.
Right. The story with Egwene, right? I mean, the story with Egwene and how she healed her and held her hand. I mean, it touches your heart.
Here's a question for you. How is he capturing these Aes Sedai?
Well, wasn't that interesting? So you saw how they came up on Moraine. He comes up upon Moraine. What would have happened if he takes her into custody?
But I guess the question though is, why aren't the Aes Sedai defending themselves against them? Because in the last episode, they flat out, Leandrin and the other Aes Sedai are talking about you can't an army can't take on 7 full sisters. So I mean, when the White Cloaks show up against Moraine, I know Moraine's injured. So okay, we know in that, but a full strength Moraine, it's like there's only 20 guys. I don't think she'd have an issue taking them out.
Unless
she was injured at the time.
Unless her life is threatened too, though. I think that's where the White Cloaks are savvy, and they're trying to bait you into we've got you outnumbered, right? So we know what your oaths are, and therefore you can't violate them. Maybe what do you think? I mean, Ryan, any thoughts on that? Like how is it that they're able to bait the Aes Sedai into a questioning? I guess
it must be the only time they're successful is when they catch them not one-on-one, but when they catch one by themselves, right? Because when we see that with the yellow Aes Sedai, or the yellow Aja, sorry, she's by herself, assuming that there wasn't a second one that they were holding to a later time, and then they come across and without the war. What happened to her warder? We don't know. Does
she might not have one either? Yeah.
Do the yellow Aja have warders? Did she just not have one? Were they backstory we probably won't get, and it's probably not relevant for a for a show where you can get into more detail in the books. But I can't imagine that however many of the the questioners and their troop they could take out more than one Aj, and I don't know how many of them they would need to take out one. Do they have to come across them when they're weak or when they're hiding and they question them and they bait them in? Once they get them into the chair and they shut down their hands,
Right.
is that the
was
only time
crazy.
they're successful?
That was crazy.
what
He
do
was
you-
saying. So he was saying some of them said they could channel without their hands. And
what do you guys think about? And I think they're doing a really interesting way. Is that here you have we've been building the Aes Sedai maybe shouldn't be as trusted as we think, with the White Cloaks and Tom Maryland talking about it a little bit. Then you have Leandrin on the other side saying we should stop all men from channeling, and the Aes Sedai, talking about how the Aes Sedai are sort of like it's the world is fine as long as everyone plays by our rules, essentially. But then here on the other side, you have the White Cloaks saying, well, the Aes Sedai are the problem and they shouldn't be allowed to channel. So, I mean, what do we think about the way they're sort of clashing these ideologies together?
Well, I mean, it's a cool thing because it's definitely there in the books, and it's way played up, way more intense, and the consequences are interesting. Like Aes Sedai are being killed and burned at the stake. I think it's good because it's sort of, they can almost imply that it's the Dark Ones. It's unnatural, that anything that's sort of unnatural like this is of the Dark One, and that's what they're going with. Not just men channeling. They're kind of saying that's just an Aes Sedai thing. It's a legend, it's lore, but the idea that anyone could do something this unnatural means it's of the Dark One, and therefore,
yeah, right here, there's no way the power comes from anything but the dark.
Yeah, wild, man. Yeah, and it's their job as children of the light. We've been calling them White Cloaks, guys. We need to refrain from that. They are just children of the light. Okay, servants of the light. Well, that was interesting, by the way, too. When the Tinker said that a child's palm over could cover like the sunlight, right?
Yes.
And that was like the power behind the leaf. I was like, oh my god,
it's cool.
Ways of life,
Yeah, the way they're pushing forward all these different perspectives on life and everything is super cool. The way I mean, yeah. Ryan, so what do you think? What do you think about the rest of the season? What do you think it's going to look like?
So we've got 3 episodes left. We've got. So when I think about the first book, you've got all the craziness at the beginning where they're in the 2 rivers and then they escape and then they get through Shadar Logoth, I think is how they said it in the show now. That's a pretty quick opening set of chapters to the book. And then it seems like the book drags on with a lot of traveling, but there's a lot of events going on. And we skip through all that because now they're all back together, save for, we're still waiting on Egwene and Perrin now. I don't know how far away they are from the rest of the group now. But they're escaping out of there. They're making their way. We're at Loyal now, so I'm assuming we're going to get a lot of information on where the season finale is going to go in this next episode, and then are we going to jump into the ways at the end of next episode? Because we only have 2 more episodes left after that.
Yeah,
I think so. I think we might. I can't remember which the title is of the one.
I believe episode 7 is The Dark Along the Ways.
So that's got to be, that probably starts off. I mean, I'm just assuming, but it starts off. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we go to the Waygate at the end of episodes. So I think episode 6 is setting. Yeah. So I think episode 6, which is next week, sets us up. And then we all go to the Waygate. Now remember, Loyal goes with them, which is interesting. Yeah. So that's going to be something we see in this next episode, is like somehow Loyal is going to get brought along with this group. And it does feel like we just met him.
It does, but he's already
in the books. He's there for a little bit longer,
right? But it does kind of feel like he's just inviting himself along already, because that the comment that was perfect, and his voice, the depth of his voice is just perfect. It's so deep, and it just takes you right out of a human voice to be in more of a creature voice, and I like that. You're an ogre? No, I'm an ogier.
Yeah,
I like that. Make that distinction for the people watching the episode. That was great.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. Quick random question. I don't know. Let me see if I can find a timestamp on this. When Matt and Rand are walking into Tarvalen, there is a curious stone right there on the side of the road, and I don't know if you guys saw like the glyphs on that.
Mhm.
But I think I don't know, comments, people leave me a comment, whatever, he bumps into it, and it's almost like they were implying that this stone was something that was going to be important later on, like a portal stone. Like we might not actually travel through a portal stone, but maybe that was a marker of some kind. It's just an ancient stone. I could be wrong because it's right along the road, and it doesn't seem like it'd be a place where the portal stone was at. But the glyphs on it just looked like,
It felt like it was going to be from that scene when they go through the portal stones. But I think there was a second spot where we see something else, something
yeah,
a different location where we see another one. Because
yeah.
I had that in my notes that I saw too, and I can name where they were, what the scene was.
The
But
the scene where Loyal. So first of all, Loyal Perrin and Egwene are close enough to see the White Tower, which again is sort of interesting because it's like, man, the White Cloaks are
oh, that's true. They're close.
they're
Then.
doing some stuff pretty close. There's a scene where I think they're like, was it them or was it Matt and Rand? You can see them sort of running, and they run by this stone that's got like 3 faces on it. Now I don't know if that's supposed to
Yeah.
be anything other than just like it looks cool,
Yeah, what was that? There
but
were
it
three
was
three
something. It
faces.
was something that I noticed.
Right. Those are little tiny things that are interesting to the world. They make this world look intriguing. And so if you're someone who's coming into this and you've just never read the books or anything, you're like, okay, there's lore. There's lore right in those stones.
Perrin and Egwene pass one too. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, and also, so the same road that Rand and Matt come in on is the same one that it might not be the exact same road. There's a little tiny bridge where Moraine and all the Aes Sedai come into Tarval, and they pass the same stone. They keep passing this portal stone, and I have it right here. It's at 7 minutes and 1 second is where I'm at right now, and it's Rand staring at what looks like a portal stone. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just because fascinating. You know what I mean?
Right.
So. Because the glyphs on it, I just feel like I doubt we're gonna use one. I mean, maybe we will.
No, I think we're doing the ways this season, but I think portal stones later will be a thing.
You think we're gonna use one later? Yeah. Okay.
I
do. Yeah.
Because that's our introduction in the books, at least, to I'm not sure what she calls herself in that scene, but for this Forsaken, right? In
Lanfear. Yeah.
Lanfear.
Lanfear.
What is
Slash
she?
Selene.
Selene. Thank you.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Good point.
Right. That's where we're introduced to her when they're because I could be misremembering
Yes.
that now.
No. You're 100% right. That is where we are introduced to her. And so the fact that he has this encounter with it, and I'm taking some guys. This shot of Rand standing in front of this portal stone is. I'm gonna call it a portal stone. He's got his hood up. He
You
looks
got it?
like
You have the
freaking.
screen shared here.
He looks like freaking Robin Hood. Oh, here I can share one. Yeah, let me. Can we? Yeah, we can share one. Let me
Yeah, I think that's okay. It's just I don't know that we can show like full video or anything, but I think on the one screenshot should probably be okay. If we get shut down here in 2 seconds, it'll be Ez's fault.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Jeff Bezos is literally watching this stream and he's like, "All right, pull these guys up."
Yeah, shut these guys down. Oh my god.
Where did the horses go?
The horses.
Good question. Where they at?
Well,
where's Bella? We need some people. People want to know where Bella is.
So boom. Hopefully we don't get shut down here, but there's that one shot right there. And then if we go back just a little bit here, so please don't shut us down.
I saw it.
Yes. Sorry. I can't frame it up right. Just perfect. Right there it is. There's the stone. That's all I'm gonna show. All right, I'm done. Remove this. Get this off here. Freaking Amazon, please don't. God. But no, it's freaking cool. I think it's awesome, and I'm interested to see what folks think as to whether or not that was a portal stone. I'll show an image of the glyphs on it too in post-production.
I wonder if we're not going to get an extended cut version of this season with a bunch of scenes that were cut. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would
some
be,
extra, some behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah. That would be
The
cool.
show's doing really well, which is great. I love it's great to see because it means that everything is, the more successful it is, the bigger and better season 2 will be and season 3 will be, and then eventually, hopefully, season 4. We're greenlit for season 3, but I think it's pretty likely that season 4 will be a thing too.
Oh yeah, me too. Especially with the numbers
which is
beginning.
crazy to think about because it's like, man, season 4 we should be halfway through the series. It doesn't feel like we're. I mean, Ryan, what do you think about the pace? I mean, so far.
It's been really well. I mean, I think it's been really good because the lead up of the first 3 episodes into 4, man, that was so great. And then we've got a little bit of calm down episode now, and I think we're gonna hit the gas pedal and go hard the next 3 weeks with wherever next week might not be anything crazy, might just be a lot more knowledge. We're going to be introduced to Amerlin's seat and maybe we get Elaine now. I know we've talked, or you guys have talked about in the past that she wasn't coming till season 2, but I was upset. I thought we were getting Min today. I just thought that was going to happen, but and I think we talked about that last week or a couple of weeks ago. And I love Min's character in the book. She's one of my favorites. So I was really hoping for it. So hopefully we get her. I'm not sure. I haven't done any digging on it. I've just listened to what you guys say about it, and I'm diving in. I don't know where we're going for the next 3 episodes because we don't know where they're going to end this season. Are they going to take us, like you guys talked about? Are we going to see the Green Man? Are they going to take us to that battle? Are they going to stop before that? I can't imagine they do. Are they going to take us beyond that? Are we going to get that battle at the end of episode 7? And now we've got, we're getting into the next book for the last book or for the last episode. We just don't know.
What if instead of like opening with the Dark Friend social, they close with it, like at the end, like the Great Hunt opens with a Dark Friend social. These are the 3, right? And you put them up there, their images. I mean, you can see people with masks, right? But you could see one was a Shanaran, one was a White Cloak, one was a Tuatha'an, another was one of the Aiel. Like that's something they could do at the end of the season. And we're like, oh shoot,
That would be really crazy because it would take us from our great victory scene into, Rand wasn't as victorious as he thought. And it would just be such a great cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait, 7 or 8, 9 months, whatever it would be.
This is not over. And then if you're someone who hasn't read the books or whatever, that's a great sort of like, all right, I got to know what the heck's going on.
Come back in.
Yeah.
Right. The other guy is Padan Fain, who we saw again today.
Totally missed that.
Yeah,
I saw you guys talking about it.
I think we're gonna have to run into him again and do something with him.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So he's in Tarvalen right now. So it's possible Matt's dagger stuff's gonna get. So I think the next episode is gonna be a little slower paced. And it's going to be a lot more lore building, dialogue, and everything, setting us up for the action that's going to be 7 and 8. So I think it's possible maybe Min next episode we run into her in Tarvalen, run into Padan Fain, Loyal maybe dropping some stuff, and then Egwene is Egwene talking to Suwan, and then that's going to set us up with like, here's what have you learned? Because remember, they did what's her name asked Moraine, like, what have you been doing all this time?
Right.
Searching for the dragon.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We know what she's been doing. Yeah.
That's Alana Sedai.
Right. Yes. We'll ask her that. And so that's a good point. We talked about, Matt and I were talking about the dynamic between Suwan and Moraine basically pretending to be at odds with one another, but then really they've had their own plot here. What they'll probably do is my big prediction is that behind the Amerlin seat, we're gonna like Min might step out at some point when they call in the Emmons Fielders, because Moraine does that in the hallway and says, "Read them." You know what I mean? Like, tell me what you see. So why not just do that right there in front of the Amerlin and say, because then
a good introduction.
Right. Yeah. Then we know she's really important because she is in with them and they know about her powers. But yet she still wears the same clothing and doesn't really care about this thing. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how that all unfolds. Her introduction. Yeah. So
last comment that you had up, Matt, I had a question for you about that. I got to scroll up now.
Go right ahead.
Do you see it? I'm scrolling up looking for it.
What was it about? I can find it for you.
The one about Valda has an ability we haven't seen yet.
No, sorry. Oh, the next one from Scott Sellers for the Heron Mark Blade. In the book, they make a big deal out of not when they're in Tarvalen, but when they're in one of the other cities. When you have the white or the red ribbon. It's in Kingland.
Yeah.
Okay, the white or the red ribbon, and it's a big deal in the book. It's a big deal in the city, and Rand just picks one, and he ends up picking the one that was more important or more,
showed his alliance to
value.
the queen.
Yeah, his alliance, right? Do you think we're going to get anything like that in this next episode if we do get introduced to the queen? I'm sorry. You're right. That's for the queen. Never mind. We're not getting the queen. We're getting the Amerlin seat.
It wouldn't surprise me though if they still do that at some point, because it's a real good way to kind of show some of that Ta'Veren nature, and just that randomly picking, having no idea, and then rolling with that and it being significant to wrap your sword, because he's trying to hide, as you said, this comment here is to hide that Heron marked blade, because it's drawing too much attention to him. He's a man traveling with an open marked Heron marked blade, and that's a problem for him. So yeah, that's we might see him disguise it in some way, right? Land might say, yeah.
So real quick, as if you remember, there's a Google Drive on, if you type in Wheel of Time leaked photos and you go, there's a Reddit forum that will lead you to a Google Drive link that has like 200 leaked photos. And I'd shown you this like earlier in the year, and I'm not going to show it because last time we did, we got in super trouble. But we got like a copyright strike on our channel, so not going to do that. However, one of the ones in this drive here.
So major spoilers.
So I don't know. Not let's see here. I'm just gonna.
If you have a screen, because that's some people might no. I just
no. Anyway, so it says if you go to the one that says carved faces. Now this is what we saw. Remember, we saw those carved faces, but alongside of it in these images is an entrance to a cave.
Okay.
So, I mean, it seems pretty specific that we might be going back to that little area. Do we come out of the ways like that? Or how do we, because the ways is like a way gate, but.
Holy smokes. I forgot this folder existed. Holy.
That's really cool looking pictures.
That's a dangerous folder to go into, friends. That's dangerous right there. That's interesting. Those are the carved faces. So there's more to it than they're just some stone things. There's entryway stuff. Wow, I don't know.
Well, when we talk about caves and entryways into mountainsides or anything like that, is there a pool inside there? Are we going to visit that and there's going to be a pool in there? Is that the end game of book one? One of those?
Maybe.
That'd be a cool little way to go into something. If you're in the Blight, there was and I hate to even talk about these photos, but there's you know what? We're in the Blight at first, but then we enter a country where things turn green, and the Green Man.
We're the Green Man, yeah. I don't know how spoiler for the end of the season you want to get, so I'm trying to stay a little bit vague, but
yeah, let's stay vague because that very well might be. That's crazy.
So what about all the stuff? What about all the stuff like we know they're going to Faldara, and looking at some of the Faldara stuff. It looks like, there's going to be some sort of fight going on here. What are we doing what's going down at Faldara?
Well, see, I bet you the Aes Sedai become more involved in that fight. So what happened was, you remember that Moraine was asked by Inktar and others to come help them. One Aes Sedai in this fight could do, but her need was greater. Like, you serve a purpose and she serves a purpose, and hers is like all of those men could die.
3 faces for the 3 arches.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Then remember, there's the shot of. Remember, and some of it was behind the scenes too, where we see that army running. Remember, there's a car behind it. We made a joke. It's like, wow, putting a car in this. That's gonna be. But we did see that.
Right. Yeah. We did see that. So, yeah. Again, I think it wouldn't surprise me if more of the Aes Sedai actually go to Tarwin's Gap in the show, and they're someone said it right here. The Badge Reborn. Yeah, I bet a large part of the Aes Sedai go to Tarwin's Gap in the show, led by Suan. Yeah, make them more involved. I mean, why not? If the Dark One's army is amassing there, and the Shinarans are having trouble holding it off. Although Caemlyn and other countries further south might not be interested in what's going on in the borderlands, you know that the Aes Sedai are, right? We know that they are keeping a watch on every country, and especially the borderlands, and they would probably send aid, you would imagine. So that's cool. That'd really, really, really cool to see a big battle go down there at the end, where maybe Rand and everyone's just kind of caught up in it, and in the midst of that, Moiraine realizes, yeah,
maybe Rand channels,
right, something like that, and yeah, that would be cool.
You could even, I think I would also even maybe have something happens with Leandrin there, where she does something and you realize, oh, she's actually, Black Aja.
Yeah,
because she is sort of being teased as one of the villains,
or she goes up there and she's a freaking hero in some way, and the show was like, wow, she's obviously, it's pull us in, let us go back and forth, just almost, yeah. So that would be cool. That would be cool if she were kind of a hero of that battle or something, and then later on, so we start to trust her, or maybe she saves Nynaeve. Who knows what they're gonna do. I thought it was kind of cool to see them talk more about Nynaeve saving Lan and how what the consequences of that are. So they've changed stuff, far enough to where it wouldn't surprise me if Liandrin did something like that to build our confidence in her.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think this is probably a decent place to probably end the stream here. Ez and I will be back doing a lot more sort of predictions and all these sort of things going forward, because there's just so much to talk about. Ez,
it's great. This is a really good freaking show. It's really good, and I want folks to understand that we love it. We understand there are changes and differences, but it's been fantastic. So Ryan, thanks again, man. This is awesome. We'll have you back on. To our patrons out there also, you guys can pop on the show. We'll send you links and stuff. It's great. We want to get your guys' thoughts. It's just a lot of fun. So
absolutely awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time. And remember that the grave is no bar to our call.